At some point in your life, you probably dreamt about being a pirate, adjusting the sail, avasting your mateys, and grabbing that precious booty. Portia May was living your dream. Her dad founded a town and named it Fortune, and all kinds of people would be going in and out of there, and Portia was running down every new visitor for stories. Eventually, Portia's dad took her on a trip to Italy and picked up a whole litter of puppies and promised Portia that she would get one of them for her birthday. Portia was pretty stoked about that prospect. However, the birthday plans got derailed when they got caught in a storm and were pulled over by a ship called the Mad Moloch. They grabbed the crew and told them that they were going to have a pirate ship version of the Hunger Games, and the last survivor gets to continue living. Portia's dad told them that he'd have to pass, and they weren't too fond of that answer and drew a smiley face on his throat with a knife. At the end of the day, the bad guys decided that they would just hold on to Portia because they realized they could use her to invade their happy little pirate port town and dry hump it to oblivion. The downside was that they didn't know how to get there because it was an uncharted island. Portia told them not to worry because she is skilled in the art of navigation and offered up a pinky promise to get them there safely. Anyway, Portia guides them directly to an area that is cursed and reportedly full of monsters. Fog starts rolling in and there are giant waves pounding both Portia and Moloch's ships. Moloch decides to peace out and Portia drove her ship straight into the storm and essentially got to experience what would have happened if the end of The Little Mermaid went south. As it turns out, getting body slammed by a tentacle monster didn't launch her face first into an early grave. She woke up to the runt of the litter of puppies that they'd gotten, licking and barking at her. They were on an island that was as purple as her bruises. She determined that they were living in a nightmare realm, which seemed to delight in torturing people in creative ways. Portia started having hallucinations and screaming, but good old Snug went full therapy dog and helped bring her back to the present. After that, Portia survived on coconuts and washed up rations. Portia and her pupper ended up getting pretty good at whipping keisters, from the humankind to unfathomable abominations. The other people that were on the island stayed the hell away from her. One night, she saw her ship. She knew that sucker got high-fived by a kraken, but she didn't care, and she told Snug that they were going swimming. She got attacked and every person that came after her seemed to have Moloch's face. She got to the ship, but Snug was gone. After that, Portia headed back to the Caribbean. Unfortunately, her multi-year stay on the cursed island meant that she got, cursed. She started seeing Moloch's face everywhere and feeling like she really needed to become a human lawnmower. Okay, when I say human lawnmower, I mean she was peeling people like oranges and adopting every stray dog that happened to walk by her. The crew didn't really mind the dogs so much, since lying in a pile of happy puppies was about the only thing that could calm Portia down. Eventually, the crew that she did have on the ship had a meeting and determined that Captain Portia has lost it and they really need to GTFO before she takes her 9-iron and starts teeing off on their decapitated heads. They figured, hey, you know how she keeps seeing Moloch everywhere? Let's give the guy a quick call and have an intervention. Portia happened to walk in on this and did not appreciate it. She donkey kicked each one in the testicles, and those who did not explode on impact threw themselves on the ground and begged her to please not turn them into gore puddles. She let them live so long as they took care of the doggos and gave her a hand with a mission. Since her minions had managed to contact Moloch, that meant that they knew where he was. Just like Portia's dad, Moloch also had himself a private island. Portia pulled up and unloaded on the place, snatching Moloch's son Tarek, who happened to be the sniveling little dirtbag that took out her own dad. Moloch was enjoying his Friday night, but when he finally came back home, there was only Portia waiting for him, with a bunch of gifts and telling him that she wanted to join the gang. Moloch didn't recognize her, what with her having been almost 12 when he first saw her and watched her ship get fisted by Cthulhu. Moloch asked where his son was, and Portia told him not to worry about it because he's already at the feast she cooked. Since Moloch didn't recognize her, he didn't see what any other person watching this unfold could see coming a mile away. She served up Tarek's rump roast to his dad while doing her best villain laugh. Unfortunately, some fog rolled in and sucked them up. Now, Portia was no stranger to League of Legends, and she knew a kill steal when she saw one. She was not happy. Before she went into all chat to flame the entity, she heard barking and knew that her jungler Snug was here for a gank and ran into the fog to finish Moloch off for good.